speaker for my lecture. So coming to the first slide, please. You go like this. You go like this. Aha. There you go. So as a child, when I joined high school, I even before that, like every child, I was a very curious one. I was told by my parents. And my uncle was a Sanskrit scholar. I was brought up as a Hindu family, in a Brahmin family. My uncle was a Hindu scholar, Sanskrit scholar. And he was the target by me, asking all these difficult questions. And as a humanist, and your experience with multi-faith growing up, I did not have that luxury. But I had a wonderful uncle. People always thought science and religion are contradicting to each other. And when I asked that question to my uncle, that scientists discover things based on the fact and experimentation, and that may not be agreeable to Hindu beliefs and religion, he said, no, scientists are like saints. That was a new definition for the first time. They are in discovery of truth. In search of truth, they work hard. This is what saints and all the Hindu scholars have done. Sankara was Shankaracharya, one of the great saints in Hinduism. He was, when 15-year-old, he started asking all these questions and became great philosopher. Buddha, for example, he was a prince in a family. And he denounced outside, saw what is going on. And so all these people have all scientific idea of what is truth, why we are getting old, why we are dying, why there is suffering. These questions are very common to as a nature for any human being, particularly for a growing child who has not seen the biased opinions yet. So that was quite interesting. With all my growing up, again, I should say I am not a Hindu scholar. I am a biochemist, and some of the students in my class are here. Maybe tomorrow the lecture will be different. And of course, one of the organizers was in my class too. But I will share with you my growing up in a Hindu culture, and few things I found which was quite interesting. We are debating about God or not God. One, imagine, I was told we have 333 million gods in Hinduism. And that was the toughest question I asked my uncle. He said, how can there be so many gods? Simple answer was, maybe at that time everybody was a god. There was a population of the universe at that time. That was a simple one. But in truth, Hinduism believes there is a God in everyone. My father, who passed away, he visited Windsor, and he told me there is a God in everyone, but it is difficult to see. But there are some people where there is an obvious, you can make out there is God in them. And he told me two people with my experience and whatever he saw. When we were building the Hindu temple, we didn't have enough funds. We were just scrambling with the things. And one of the community member, his construction company holder, Mr. Razak, a Muslim fellow hailing from Kerala, he came and he's such an open-hearted person. He said, this is a divine place. I will help you all. Not only he gave all these ideas, and he donated $100,000 to the Hindu temple. And not only himself, all the subcontractors who were belonging to different faith and different religious group, make them also donate to some extent, basically. And that is how my father was very impressed. He said, see, there is a visible God in that guy. Is there? So, yes, one more thing, let's go ahead actually before that, please. And we start this prayer with Ganeshji. Ganeshji is the elephant god. There's another thing we found in Hinduism. Everybody is God, not only human, other than human too. The monkey, the dog, the animals. There's embodiment of God in everyone. So when we start our prayer, we say, we bow or we pray to Ganeshji. He's the Lord of obstacle, and he makes sure everything goes smoothly. Then Sthana Devata, Kula Devata. the God belonging to this place. We just recently started acknowledging the land and our acknowledgement to the native people. In Hinduism is right built in from the beginning. Wherever place you are worshipping, first pray to the god or goddess who have been there before belonging to that territory or that land. It's called Sthan Devatabhyo Namah. Pray to your ancestor, Pitri Devatabhyo Namah. So this is how we start, and again acknowledgement has been made. Sthan Devatabhyo Namah means local god, we pray to whoever was there. Oh. And now coming to this one, as I said, I'm not a Hindu scholar, I'm a biochemist. My uncle was, I think I already had told you. And being a scientist is the nature of every human being, every child. And I would like to share a small story of a child asking question to her father, 5-year-old. And she asked her father, have you seen God? You didn't see it. My father said he might be present in some people, but not in all, but obviously. And like all of us, we try to explain something we believe in. And this gentleman tried to explain that God is the one of the most kind, most generous, most forgiving. One of the best person you can imagine is God. And the child said, okay, well, that is fine. Now, the next difficult question child asked. If the God is so gracious, nice, wonderful, doesn't have ego, doesn't get angry, will he be upset if I don't recite his name? Very innocent question, very clear. No. And that brings a very important point here. The third question was even more difficult. The child says, if my God is so generous, nice, ego-free, wonderful, that's what I'm imagining, then would he be upset if I don't recite his name, but recite somebody else's name? And again, the father was dumbfounded. Why should he mind? And that is that there is no conflict. If we all believe in that wonderful, generous, superpower God, whatever, humanity, okay, then we don't have any conflict. If my God gets upset because I go to him for lunch or dinner, I don't think he's God anymore. He lost his virtual or virtuousness to be a God. So that is all. So that was nice. And my uncle explained that too, that in Hinduism at least, these 330 million God, how they become. So in each village there is a God of the village in the north, south and all pole. Then there is all sorts of imagination. You bring a stone and put some red color and believe that is my God. People start worshipping that too. But he said there are few gods which we see every day. And he said, Matri Devo Bhav, your mother is like a god. Pitri Devo Bhav, your father is like a god. Your teacher is like a god. A guest who comes is like a god. The river is God who gives you water. So like that, if you calculate, then there will be 330 million. Be respectful and nice to everybody, indebted to those who have helped you all the way. So that some of those philosophies I like, and that's what I go along. Then another difficult question I face, I was president of the Hindu Temple Society here, Hindu Mandir and Cultural Society. So sometime I give lecture to the high schools. And invariably I was asked this question, oh, do you believe in cow as a mother? Why cow is such a sacred animal in your religion? I had the same question asked to my uncle. And he explained the concept of 3 mothers in everybody's life. One is my mother, who nurtured me in her womb for 9 months, shared whatever she ate, she gave it to me, and took care of me, gave birth. She is my mother. And then she nurtured after birth. But truth is that when I grew up, her milk or nourishment is not sufficient for me. I need some more help. And that is where another mother comes, cow. So we all need additional milk. Not only that, he said that your mother nurtured you because you are her son. Cow nurtured you by sharing her calf's share, her son's or daughter's share with another child, that is you. So you have to be more indebted to that mother cow. And as we grew up, just milk is not sufficient. We need grains, we need fruits and vegetables. That also we need. And that is where Mother Earth comes. Three mothers concept. And I thought that is quite beautiful. We have to be respectful to all these mothers. And if you don't respect these mothers, you will be in trouble. We are in big trouble because of the global warming. Did not respect Mother Nature or Earth. So again, those are a few concepts. I like it, the way it is going. Then please go ahead. There is a Sankhya Yoga. Oh, I am supposed to go ahead. Okay. This is a text taken from that we believe in the nature in all the forms. So there is a God not only in human, in animal, in every single embodiment. And scientifically, I find that it is kind of energy and matter, which is there in everywhere. And energy can be form of God, you can believe. But by nature, scientifically, religious practices of faith system is a social evolution. Evolution from animal to human was very easy. Again, I'm talking as a scientist without offending anyone. You got evolved to human being. But the human being with the brain, emotions, capacity to think, fantastic hard drive here, we grew up, but how to control it and develop into good human being, that is a challenge. And I believe all the religions were designed, or they were made in such a way, all the rules and regulations, so that you can become a better human being, so that you don't hurt anyone, you respect everyone. This is how we all evolve. And now, because of some customs or whatever, again, human being has its own ego, human being has all its bad point, non-godly natures, and they take over and they say, no, you have to do this, you have to do this. If you don't do this, I will do this. No, that is not the actual thought of wonderfulness. So in that respect, it is very nice that you be respectful and nice to each other. This 330 million God in everyone. Somebody was joking when you said that I believe there is a God in everyone, that means you have not met everyone. No, there is God, and my father said one person was Mr. Razak. Again, it was his observation. And another observation where you can see the God in another person, a couple who lost their 26-year-old son to cancer because of the complication with chemotherapy. Generally, people want it is very hard on them, not very rich people, retired teacher. And they came up. They wanted to do something as a non-toxic therapy for cancer, and they donated $50,000, grieving thing, to do something so that we can have some non-toxic treatment for cancer. My father's observation, there is an observable God in that person, not hidden. So yes, we can all believe in each one of us as a God. And one more thing my uncle said, which I appreciated, none of the religious practice should block our thought process and use of this computer. We should be able to think, do, experiment, and ask questions. And in Hinduism, there used to be Sarthartha, and he said, actually, you can challenge God, you can be God too. Aham Brahmasmi is a statement in Hinduism. If you develop yourself to that divine quality, you can be God. And the God in everyone. We do say namaste. Namaste means I bow before God in you. So you are God in you and God in me. I bow before you, which is a fantastic concept. So the God is everywhere. It's form of energy, according to scientists. And if that gives me a reason to respect everyone, be nice to each other, and of course, scientifically, God is kind of a fear because of which you do right thing. Otherwise, you'll be punished. There is one thing people use. But you can do it without that too. Don't have to believe in anything, and you can be humanist and nice to each other. And so freedom of thought, it was fantastic. And soul in us, I found that concept very nice. This is called Sankhya Yoga, where they say that nature has all these molecules and everything. They all come together, and God is consciousness, what we call it. Atma, our soul. And that joins that materialistic thing and it becomes you, me, her, animal. So that becomes life, which is fantastic. And the soul, according to the religion, is godly thing in you. That is pure, wonderful. So having this body, keep that soul happy. And soul gets happy only when you do good things. Don't hurt anyone. Try to help everyone. Last, I would end up very fast. Oops. Going back, going forward. Some interesting facts. I already have told about all the gods already. So I don't have to go there. And the Shanti prayer. When we say Om Sarvagam Shanti Prithavi Shanti, when we pray for peace, we don't pray for peace from one God or this God, all 330 million, as well as all the river, the vegetations, the animals, everybody we pray to be peaceful and be nice to us. Imagine when they used to pick up the herb for medication in Ayurveda, they first used that and then pray to that herb and then pick up that herb. Please be nice and medicinal to me. So those are nice things, to be respectful to everything. And of course, this is what we say when we say the peace prayer, which is I find was very nice. And another thing in Hinduism I found, to pay respect to your ancestors. And again, I came here, I became so enriched with all this knowledge. I went to a seminar by one elder, our native Indian Aboriginal group, and they have invited an elder to give a talk. It was so fascinating. They also believe their spirit, ancestral spirit. And for the first time I came to know that when the wife becomes pregnant, we all say that the lady is pregnant. In their culture, husband and wife both are pregnant because spirit has chosen you to come to life with you. And both of you should be respected. So these are knowledge. So to ancestral prayer, we dedicate 2 weeks in a year to pray to our ancestors. We believe in reincarnation. So whatever it is, my father, my grandfather, great-grandfather, somewhere, for 2 weeks we pay respect to them. And when we do that prayer, we will not only do to our ancestor, to anybody, and anybody's ancestor, we do that. I like that idea. And then another concept in all religions, I have not studied a lot about various religions, but one thing I find unique in Hinduism, that ladies' God have more power. Goddesses are more powerful. First thing is to not discriminate whether a lady or man, whoever, both are equal right. Actually, the three powers, the intellectual power, the financial power, and physical power, these are donated by three goddesses, mothers. And I kept saying in my class, all powers in our body is given by mitochondria, source of power, ATP, and mitochondria are inherited through my mothers, not fathers. Makes sense? I don't know. Those guys had those metabolism classes or not. And these are again some people visiting the temple. This is the old temple. Now new temple is open to everyone. We are open to everyone. So in that respect, I do believe there is no conflict at all. One last thing I will say, I asked my uncle, out of 333 million gods, how can I pray to all of them? If I recite their name, it will take my lifetime. He said, choose anyone and pray. I said, but then 333 million minus 1, they will be upset. That is bad. And he said, that is the beauty of it. You can choose your Ishta Devata, they call it, your favorite God, and you believe in them. If you don't believe in one of them, don't believe in any one of them. A formless God is also, Nirakar Brahm also exists in Hinduism. Believe in energy, fine. So that freedom was quite very nice for me by all the means. So if they have this concept that you pray to your favorite God, others don't mind, then that should be the concept for everyone. As I said, believe in nice things, do nice things. Par upakar saris na bhalai, par pida sam nahi admai. This is the last thing, that hurting someone, there is no worse sin than that. And helping someone, there is no divine thing than that. And that is all I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much.